But I want to go back to Efe. You know, in putting this is just one of other ways to express how we can develop our children's education. Because I remember we learned things that helped us in play.
That's right.
So what are you doing about, I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, for me, the book is really just the starting point.
Because interestingly, this book has songs at the back.
Yes.
Ao Mary Joba.
Ao Mary Joba, Eweku Ewele. You know, so it has the stories in Yoruba, in Hausa, in Igbo, in Efik, in Bini. You would know that exactly. You know? So it's many times you read some books and they'll say, and they sang. If you've never heard the song, how would you know? So that's what we did. We went that effort, and the gentleman that put this together for me has been my children's piano teacher from when my eldest was 5, Mr. Agwenga Ezekiel. Yes, I said, let's put the music out. Let's score this so that anybody, anywhere in the world that can read music will be able to sing this song.
My prayer is that, what did boys play as children? We play 10-10. What did boys play?
Table soccer.
Table soccer.
Rolling tires and everything.
Yeah. So there's an illustration there, this one right at the back. You see, try to capture all those things. That was deliberate. Yeah, you see the 10-10, the suwe, you know, and all that. The
flying kites.
The kites that you made with nylon and booms. I was telling some mothers, you know, the other day, I said, you know what, today, parents think they strive to give their children what they didn't have. In the process, we forget to give them the best of what we had. And I think we're really doing a great injustice to the next generations if those things that we enjoyed as children are not passed on to them.
So what's the biggest fear we have for our children, you know, as we go forward? Now you've talked about passing on the values that we have. What do you worry about? Because I thought the digital space was one thing we should worry about.
No, like even before we started rolling, I was talking about the differences, the concerns between literacy and comprehension itself. Between comprehending what 26 letters combined together in different ways mean, and actually comprehending deeper truths from your text. So people worry about that. You know, there were many noises made about a post-literate world about 10 years ago.
Yes, after all,
the idea that we need to read audiobooks and we could look at screens and watch from television. But the consequence of that was social media, the internet, which you cannot navigate without being able to read. So literacy itself is becoming even more important.
Will always be relevant.
You must know how to read. Now, in terms of me, I'm a lover of physical books. And I believe that physical books are like sharks. Sharks were here before dinosaurs, and sharks are still here, and sharks will be here most likely afterward. Because why? Sharks are the best living things at being sharks. Books are the best. They don't change. Books are the best things at being books. They are light, they are bat resistant, they can fall in the water, bring them and put them in the sun, and you get your book back. NEPA doesn't worry them. You can say light disturbs them, but you can put on the screen. So the idea is that it's not either or, it is and. It is like people saying that television killed radio. No, television pushed radio from prime time at 8 p.m. to prime time at 4 p.m. when you are driving home from work.
That's true.
You know, so these things don't...
We readjust.
We readjust
so
themselves.
Literacy will always be needed.
Always be important.
What do you have to say about that? What worries you most about the children that we have today? You said they will always need literacy, even though they are digital. Yeah.
What worries me is the fact that parents encourage the use of digital devices even before they need it.
Too early.
Yes, my children have. I didn't buy for them. I told them I wasn't going to buy. But
you didn't buy what?
Tabs and whatever. That, but their uncles bought for them, and I had to seize them because I realized they'll say, I want to read a book.
How old is your eldest?
She's 11.
So you've taken her tab from her. You won't even let her use her at weekends?
No. No. Because I realized it's a distraction. I realized
even if she was using a tab, she wouldn't have written a book.
She wouldn't have. It was a distraction. So I think parents are encouraging these children to move away from books. They tell you they want to read
but there's book ahead, there's reading.
They end up watching films on YouTube and all of that. So there are lots of distractions. Like you said, the battery won't go out on this one. You won't have mails coming in. You won't have any form of distraction with this. So I think parents should encourage their children to do more of reading.
More of reading. But if they're going to read more, do you think that there are going to be more authors? Because have you made money yet?
There will be, definitely will be. Because like I said, reading is a gateway drug to other aspects of the writing space.
Yes.
Any reading at all opens up your mind. Reading builds fiction, especially reading fiction.
Yeah, because I mean, look at this young child has created characters. I don't know from where.
But you know what I think? It's not like there will be more authors. There are more authors right now, but nobody's doing anything about them. We see them, but we just pass by. Parents are not doing anything.
Although by more authors, I kind of mean more good authors.
Because
because it's a low entry space. Anybody with a laptop and a keyboard is a writer.
There's so many of them who have not been discovered.
Especially when you're from our culture, West Africa, where storytelling is easier. Me and you can put story for the next hour. But to translate our natural ability to the printed word, that's where the difficulty, to this media of the written word is where the issues normally come from.
And also we are writing to children, like you said, that have been exposed to a lot of foreign books. So our books need to match a particular standard as well. Otherwise, they will not even, there won't be a natural interest.
For example,
they won't appeal to them.
Are making waves today. There's one that's called Children of the Blood.
Children of Blood and Bones.
Blood and Bones. A Nigerian guy writing in America. Writing...
Tomi Adeyemi.
Yes, writing something about... Why can't we create... There should be a J.K. Rowling in this country. All these stories that we have... Even all the juju that we say, the greatest witchcraft possible.
Our children don't know about juju and all of that. But it's hard for them to even come up with stories around that.
But it's coming up. It is happening because we are receiving those stories and we are looking at them and we're trying to make them better and make them fit for publication. The place is percolating with talent. It is coming up. It's a long journey to get to the printed page.
Yes, the writers are there, we just don't see them.
But yes, exactly. And you know, because it's a low entry profession, all it takes is a pen and paper and you can say you're a writer. But to be a good writer, that's why the structure of this industry died in the 80s. And with people like Kachifo Cassava, Paresha and the rest, we're trying to build it up again. Parallel, I'm talking of fiction, I'm talking of reading for pleasure. Not reading for curriculum or reading for 48 Laws of Power or something like that. I'm talking of reading fiction itself. Fiction serves certain, fiction builds empathy. Without empathy, and empathy leads to kindness. Without those things, we can't build a society. So those are the things that we try to bring. That's why fiction to me is so important. Storytelling, the ability to think, to draw people in, to make them feel the pain of an entity that doesn't actually exist. And
like, what's the name of your main character in the first story? Let me see. The Dahlias. The Dahlias are the ones. How did it end?
They got the business. They started the business they wanted.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! No, okay. So we shouldn't tell the end. So which one is your favorite story of the 3 that you have in this book? Strange things acted up on my birthday. Is that real or fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction. And I thought it was your birthday. That was fiction. Okay. So I mean, I decided to ask her to comment because at the end of the day, did you have your readers in mind when you were writing your stories? Or you just wanted to put it down?
I had readers in mind.
What readers? Who are your readers?
My sister.
Your sisters?
And that is a concept that she's engaged without really knowing it. Because it's the concept of the ideal reader.
Yes.
Every writer has an ideal reader. Every writer writes to a certain audience. That is why certain writers now put comma after Eba by saying that yellow globular mass. The audience you're writing to is not somebody with Eba. But if you're writing to us, to your people, to your sister, then you find out that there are shortcut words. If you put a phrase, your sister knows that under that word is an entire iceberg of meaning.
Yes, you can communicate to them.
Yes, and I think the strongest stories are stories that are told with confidence to a culturally similar audience. I think they are the most powerful.
Oh, well, the one that lasts. After all, look, I still going back to J.K. Rowling. It didn't concern anybody. We're all reading it as if,
exactly.
you know. So, but, you know, in this case, though, I would like us to end by saying what we wish for the Nigerian child, looking at literature and its education now, before we go. Can I start with you, Omonua?
I'd like to encourage parents to look inwards. In that child in your house is a talent. Don't let it die.
What was your first child? What's her talent?
She loves to sing and dance.
Okay. So you were
actually this reading for that. For me, I just believe that buy books in the house. I once had a visit from friends.
And force them to read it, Joe.
Friends who came and said that, Egosa, why book for your house? I said, because I'm raising children and they need to read.
Do they read your kids?
Yes, of course, even by accident. When they are bored.
Do you like say, go and read?
No, the books are there. Eventually, they pick them.
Oh, the others will put them all over the place.
They're just all over the place.
For me, if you say the Nigerian child, I'm looking at all the Nigerian children. So I'm looking at indigent children as well. Because
so we're talking about data.
Yes, exactly. So we're even talking about children that don't have access to books. So there's something I developed on my own this year on World Book Day, and I called it the 3 Ps of reading. First, people that are committed to teaching them to read. Then 2 pages of books that they're able to read. They need that access, and then places where they can read. Everything starts first in the home, you know, and then society and government can give support.
Build libraries from the home to the school,
to the just public libraries, get books in there, then get people that are maybe volunteered or trained to teach reading.
Well, what I take away is that I'm going to buy more books. I'll buy some from you. In fact, I think and I'll just put them in strategic places, near their telephone. Well, my own kids have gone beyond, you know, this age now, but the truth is, it pays to read. We are what we are because of what we read, you know, whatever it's coming from. So our dream and hope for the Nigerian child is there'll be more people doing Nigerian literature, even little kids like her, and also that at the end of the day, we shall begin to appreciate what's ours and promote it. Thank you for watching and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.